What happens when you leave a bone out in the sun? It gets a skeleton. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Happy Tuesday. And welcome back to Dragon's Lair on the NES. I think this is night 4. Hope you've had a good weekend, everybody, and that your week is getting off to a good start. I'm cautiously optimistic that we're gonna do a good job sticking to our schedule this week. Getting a slightly late start tonight, and probably about the same time tomorrow night. A little closer to 9 than 8, or more like exactly 9 instead of 8 is sort of what I'm expecting. But we'll see. We're doing Dragon's Lair tonight. Winnie the Pooh tomorrow. Herc's Adventure on Thursday. And Hercules on Friday. Those games are rough. This game is rough. Everything I'm playing is rough. I don't have any fun games on the schedule. But hopefully we'll have fun regardless. So, we'll dive in here. First, welcome in Dead Zergling is first in chat tonight. Lurking tonight at work for another 75 minutes. I hope that goes smoothly for you, Zergling. Thank you for the lurk. And Lucent Jelly is here as well. Welcome in, Jelly. I am very surprised. I didn't think you were gonna be able to have Twitch working for you. So glad to have you here, Jelly. For a little while. It's I know it's off to bed with you soon, of course. Alright, well, let's see if I've forgotten 100% of this game or not. It's been a little while since I played it. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot the buttons are reversed. That's the worst thing about this game. Volume might be a little bit low. I'll have to turn it up in a moment. See if I can wipe out this dragon first. So I'm playing through this. This is my first playthrough. Ongoing first playthrough. I seem to get a little bit further every now and then. I'm trying to do it blind, and this game is pretty tricky to figure out. There are definitely some gimmicks to it that I just don't yet understand. It's a lot of trial and error and memorization. Oh, I see. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Nope, that snake isn't going to come back. If that snake doesn't come back, I'll be alright. It's a little bit trial and error memorization, but it's also a little bit like counting on the game to like not break its own rules. There's some janky stuff in it that just doesn't work the way that I know it's supposed to. Like platforms that won't let me off. Buddha Fingers, good to see you. I was worried I was too close. Have you learned nothing from the parable of Samson? Oh, cutting my hair, my beard, and my hair back. Yeah, I cut my beard back a little further than I normally would have liked. I was trying a particular what are those called? One of the shields with my razor. But trying to make things a little bit easier. But I had to cut it back because I have a baby man doesn't know his own strength. Having large chunks of my beard repeatedly pulled out throughout the day is not a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, it's just gonna spawn this guy infinitely now. I see. Rolled greed with the razor. I disagree. It's alright. I know I was taking a risk, but, you know, it grows back. If you've never played this game before, you should know that the attack and jump buttons are reversed. And if you've never seen me playing this game before, you should know that that is something I absolutely cannot deal with and will not stop complaining about it. Oh no, I didn't know I was at the end of my energy. What happened? No! Ah. Overshooting these platforms like this has not historically been a problem for me. I've had all kinds of problems with the platforms. That's a little bit of a new one. from the top. How did anyone who worked on this think this was acceptable? I can understand this dragon taking like 3 hits, but like, I don't know, the million that it takes currently, it's not good. Hey Greg, welcome in. Ooh, I think we've got a philosophical question here. Does reading specific books make you well-read, or does reading a particular volume or number of books make you well-read? And by extension, can I become well-read solely by reading mystery novels? Well, I guess when someone is considered well-read, when I think of the term, what the term means, I assume it to be like someone who's familiar with the breadth of like the sort of core canon of Western literature. But I mean, you could always use it with a qualifier, right? Because you can be well read in a particular field, or not so well read in every field, as is my case. So yeah, I think if you use it without a qualifier, then I guess I'm expecting specific books. But here's the thing, like, I'm imagining, like, a pool of, like, I don't even know how many. It's like a maybe not specific books, but, like, to have read, like, at least one work by a bunch of specific authors, I guess, is what I would expect. Like, I wouldn't expect you to have read, like, everything that Hemingway wrote, for example, but maybe one of his novels. And if you hadn't read anything by him, but by a bunch of other people, then, you know, it's not like everything lives and dies on Hemingway. It's just he's the first one that came to mind. Yeah, maybe like a broad sampling of greatest hits. If someone was described to me as being well read, that's sort of what I would assume. But then, like, You could always qualify it further, because, like, if all you read was, like, mystery novels, then, like, you could be well-read in mystery. I feel like there should be a well-read license. I mean, is that what like a BA in literature is supposed to be? Greg says I'm good. More than be said for my internet connection lately. I'm sorry to hear that, and I can definitely relate. Fortunately, my internet has been behaving at nighttime, but during the day, my connection keeps dropping out, and it's wildly inconvenient. Don't crunch me. There needs to be limits on how frequently that guy can spawn. I'm about to perish. Does one require a BA in literature to be well read? No, I don't think so. If I was a solid D- student who was barely able to graduate, would that also disqualify me? Well, I mean, that's the thing with, like, licenses, right? Is, like, there's not a great degree of, like, gradation, right? I think you can have a BA and not contain the foggiest notions of what to do with it or how to apply it. I mean, I don't disagree. I was just following the logic of this license. There are a lot of people with driver's licenses that don't seem to know how to drive. Ah, is that one gone? I think that one's gone. Learned to drive rather late into my 20s. Boogerfinger says, I held fast to the notion that the streets were full of idiots and that I too could join them. Okay, got him. I'm going to conduct an experiment that may punish me. Okay, this is good. I was not punished. I just learned I can cut a step out of my process that I've been following. I had previously been under the impression that I had to go to the throne room before I could come to this room. And now I've just learned I do not have to do that. So that's good. That saves us some time. It actually doesn't really save me any effort necessarily, because going in and out of the throne room has not really proven to be that difficult. It's just time consuming. So the process just got a little faster, which, you know, I'll take it. I don't really remember the timing on this. Should have gone. Not now. Now. Let's go. No, my jump input didn't read. No checkpoint. This game is miserable. There is no reason that I should have fallen there. I was on solid ground. I got robbed. I suddenly got real worried that that stone would be able to reach my toes. Let's go. I'm on the run of my life right now. There we go. Well, thank you for the follow, my new friend. Appreciate having you on board with us. I looked for where to turn that alert off in the that Streamlabs alert. I was looking to try and see how to turn that off so I could let people be anonymous again, but I don't know where that setting is in the CloudBot. I don't know why it started calling people out, and I don't know how to make it stop. Alright, our first death is imminent. But this is by far the furthest I've ever made it in one life. So that's a great start. It'll probably be days before I do that well again. Let's go. I'm very inexperienced with that jump. I've only successfully made it once or twice. I usually don't even make it that far. P doesn't take away my axe. I assume that's just for points. Which, if that's the case, I don't know why it's not just another gold. Oh, I should have gone. Okay. Oh, that was close. No! I forgot it doesn't go all the way over. Oh, but I hit a checkpoint. Oh, glorious. Now, if only I could avoid picking up this dagger, right? One, two... No! Ah! That's my PB. I've never picked up that F before. I've made it over there, so we just tied our PB. I hope the F is fire. No! Oh, no! What am I gonna do about that skull? I don't know what to do about that skull. That's rough. That's rough to lose that one. Without even picking up that, My score is lower than last time, too? How? Why? Cool. You know what? It wasn't the worst time for that guy to spawn. I was a little annoyed, but you know what? If he's gonna spawn right next to an energy before I pick it up is when to do it. So my annoyance was really unmerited. Game says, fine, I'll give you a reason to be annoyed. Run for it. Ooh, almost didn't get off at my stop. That would have been bad. There's so much to this game that I just have no real clue how to avoid. Oh, come on. There's an energy coming up. Don't let this bat get me. I'm doing a lot better there now that I'm jumping more. Let's go. That was quick. I usually don't get that so quick. Ooh, I thought I was going to miss that. My health is not looking great. I probably won't make it very far into this room. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me on the other side either. Thank you. Oh. Wish that was a 1-up. Wish that was P for player. Let's go. I'm doing really well at that. No, that energy. Right before the checkpoint, too. Ah, oh, room again. The timing there was different than I have come to expect with those 2 skulls. So why am I jumping to pick up an axe I already have? Let's get this checkpoint. No! No! Again! I jumped! I don't know what it is about that one spot that it doesn't read my jump. It's really annoying, though. It's really annoying to be killed right next to the checkpoint. I don't feel like I was that close to the edge, even. Usually when something like that happens, it's because I've hit the attack button instead of the jump button. So I'm trying to be, like, super extra careful. Is that gonna hit my foot and kill me? I'm not gonna give it the chance. I thought about giving it the chance just to answer my own question. just take all the damage in the world, it's fine. How do I not get hit by that skull? I just don't understand. There's no room. There's no room to survive. Stop wasting energy early with extra daggers against that dragon. Something that I should have figured out 4 nights ago. Retreat! Probably should have blown up that bat before I ran. Too late now. No! Ah! I got confused. That's a shame. There was no reason to die there. Blow up the bat, then run. That's the way to do that. It's 2 on the left, 1 on the right. I knew I was messing that up as I messed up. See, this is how things usually go. All this making it to that 4th room with a whole bunch of lives, that's not how things usually go. It's more like I don't even make it there at all. Too many boneheaded errors everywhere along the way. I don't know how I lost so much energy in the previous room. I mean, I died in that room. My energy got reset. I don't think I'm going to make it to the refill, because I've got to eliminate 2 bats on the way. Oh my goodness, I got it. Didn't get the candle refill, but I'm going to say that's okay. Perfectly okay. Let's go. Oh, but now I don't have enough energy to defeat this boss. Let's go! Turns out I didn't have enough energy for the boss. Almost got to the axe. Go, go, go. Crawl, crawl, crawl. Nice to know I can actually hang out underneath these 2 skulls. Oh, we have a raid coming in. Very nice. Welcome in, raiders. Well, pause. Thank you for joining us. Bubby Cat, Viking, welcome in. I hope you've had a great stream. Nick La Rosa, good to see you, Nick. Thank you for coming along with the raid. Let's try doing some shout outs. Doing a shout out. If I can type with my right hand. Welcome to Dragon's Lair on the NES. This first playthrough, ongoing. I've been working on this for several nights, and I'm doing pretty well tonight with the rooms I know. But this room here is my PB, and I don't do so well in this one yet. Hopefully we're gonna get there. Hopefully we're gonna get there. Backrooms. I know vaguely of what Backrooms is, but I really haven't seen any of the content. Hopefully it was a lot of fun. Fruity name guy, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. It's a wild game, Bubby Cat. Thank you again for the raid. So yeah, the arcade version. I know it. I've never played the arcade version. I know it. I know it's like all like cutscenes and QuickTime events. It's basically more of a movie than a game, from what I understand. And I think I will play it. I've got a copy of it on the Wii, so I think we will give it a try. My friends, if you want to click through that link, give our friend Bubby Cat a follow. Hey there, little Bubby Cat. Pull you up a seat, get you a chew, and join in on the shenanigans. The About page says. Right on. Right on. Let me see if I can find my chat again. Thank you for the lurk. And yeah, by all means, if you have anything to do post-stream, go right ahead. A raid and run is always understood. Alright, let's see if I can move around a little bit more here. So I'll point it out when we get up to my PB. Oh yeah, but the arcade game. I have the arcade game on the Wii, and if I ever finish this, I do intend to give that a try. I thought I'd start with this one. I didn't really know a lot about it going in. I knew it was like a puzzle platformer, like cinematic platformer, and I actually kind of hate these kind of games. But I do like playing janky, broken trash, so... A playthrough of this was inevitable given enough time. I'm a Frownie, of course, to those new to the stream. I stream... mostly retro games. Occasionally I'll play something newer on the Switch, but overwhelmingly I'm sort of an 8 to 64-bit kind of guy. I like really brutally difficult platformer games. Like Ghosts and Goblins and Castlevania and Contra. And I like janky licensed trash games. Like, we're playing this right now. I'm also playing sort of a little marathon of Winnie the Pooh titles. We've been doing those every Wednesday. I'm playing a couple Hercules games as well right now. And I prioritize extremely strictly blind playthroughs as much as I possibly can. I'm really big at not reading the manuals or receiving any, like, sort of hints or help. My goal with every game that I play is to complete it, usually 100%, and to complete it with only the information that I get directly off my own television screen. I don't always succeed in that goal, but that's what I aim for every time. Remember when you were playing this before? That evil green goblin tax collector. Oh. The thing is about that, like, because I don't really care about my score, like, I don't even mind that guy, like, comes in to steal my gold. That's just, like, he can have it, whatever. The thing that really annoys me about that guy showing up, well, he damages me when he hits me. That annoys me. But also, he despawns the enemies, and that throws off their patterns. And so then I'm not sure how to make it through a particular area anymore. This game is about nothing but the patterns, so anything that interrupts that is really devastating. That was actually a good place for him to spawn, because there weren't any enemies on screen for him to mess with at the time, and there was an energy coming up. So, not gonna complain about that one. Let's go. I had one really amazing run earlier where I made it to my furthest room with on my first life. I had all my extra lives intact. It was pretty unbelievable. Your weapons are tied to your health meter. So it's a really bad idea to, like, spam weapons constantly, and that is an aspect of the game I had not paid attention to until very recently. Like, I knew it was going on, it's just I was dying so frequently and not making it far enough that just I didn't really care that I was losing energy to the weapons. But now I'm trying to be a little bit more cautious. No! Oh, why? Why do I have to be like this? We almost did it again. I almost made it. I almost made it there on the one life. I am being mistreated by that enemy for sure. Oh, cool. That was, well, that's kind of my fault. I've never actually tried that particular jump before. So at least I learned. At least I learned something. Another thing not to do. You have two jumps, right? You have one jump button, but like you get a big jump or a little jump depending on how long you hold the button. And for most of the jumps, you want to just do the tap jump. You hold the jump button. Frequently, you'll jump too high, hit your head on something, and lose your distance and fall in a pit. So you mostly want to do just the tap jump. But the thing about that is, when you just tap the button, it doesn't always read your input. Particularly if there's other things moving around on the screen. There have been a lot of instances where I've gone for the tap jump and just had the button not read, and then I just walk off a ledge. I have a feeling if I make it through this room without picking up that F, that I'm in huge trouble. Because they've made it so hard to get that it must be very important. No! Ah, right there. Right there is where it happens to me the most. I go for the tap jump and it just doesn't happen. Ah, it's so irritating. That's happened to me like 4 or 5 times tonight alone. that same spot. It's driving me bananas. The axe can't actually reach the skull there, so you just take extra damage. That's not very cool. I think this is more fun to watch than to play. Well, as long as someone's having a good time. I would not recommend picking this one up. I tend to look at games, like, way more positively after I've beaten them, though, so if I do beat it, which, for those unfamiliar, I do try very hard to beat everything that we play. I don't make it 100% of the time, but I've got a really solid track record. I think there have been fewer than 10 games in the history of the stream that I've abandoned that we have not and will not beat. And considering we've done like 400 or 500 games, that is a pretty good percentage, right? Oh, this game is super hard too. Yeah, it's the thing is, like, it's one of those that's like, it's largely hard just because it's unclear what you're supposed to do. Alright, I'm just gonna leave that F behind. Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, we have to pick up... there's gotta be a way to collect that F. F for Frownie. My stats have completed to abandoned, I think, is the inverse of that. Well, the stream has made me a lot better at finishing games, right? So when you play them on stream, like, like before, if I'd play something for a while and then I take a break from it, and it's very easy to not go back to something. But when I'm doing it for the stream, there's usually always someone who will show up in the chat and be like, what about that game that you were playing last year? Did you ever finish that? And then I'm like, oh yeah. Guess I better go back to it. Maybe not that long. I don't usually let a lot of things sit that long. Some things, but hey Chozo, welcome in. This game is mean. It's almost going okay tonight. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well at the parts that I know. I'm just not. I've kind of hit a progress wall. Did you ever finish Jump King? I'm 2/3 of the way there. We finished it twice. I just got one more. I'm still waiting for Evil Knievel. Yeah, Evil Knievel is rough. I'm different with the stream. I'm opposite with the stream. I play a different game every stream. If I had started out with that MO, I might be in a better place right now. I learned, I've experimented with sampling games on the stream, and I'm just not good at it. Everything that I start, I just can't, everything I start on the stream, I just get this, like, urge where I really want to finish everything that we start. Like a showcase streamer. Yeah, so like I tried to do stuff like that in the past, where I'd let viewers pick games and we'd sample a bunch of things. But I just can't do it because everything that I start up I want to spend too much time with. And it inevitably consumes my entire schedule. And then I don't get to play anything that I want to play. I mean, considering that this is the kind of game that I pick when I play what I want to play, maybe I shouldn't be allowed to choose the games for the stream. Jump King's gonna return in a big way in September, by the way. Everyone who's looking forward to that. We're gonna try and finish DLC 2 in September. I'll probably have a lot of all Jump King nights. Then maybe I'll think about revisiting. Maybe I'll revisit Evil Knievel for one night after I finish Jump King. Maybe I can promise one night of Evil Knievel. I disagree. I need to play Evil Knievel on an actual Game Boy at some point. I need to try Evil Knievel on a Game Boy so that I can see if it's really supposed to be as bad as it is, or if it's a result of playing it on the Game Boy player, like, if that's making it worse. Because it's just so incomprehensibly unplayable. The thing that really puts me off from that game isn't even really the game itself. The biggest problem that I have with it is that it's a limited lives game. If I remember right, there are no continues, and you only get a few lives. And you're expected to somehow clear like 25 boards. It really should be an infinite lives kind of game. Every one of those things. Every one of those things had to hit me. It's tough because I don't want to accidentally throw a dagger past those skulls and hit this one over here. That's what gives me a lot of trouble right there. If I accidentally hit that skull on the end, then it'll freeze it in place too low, and then I won't be able to get around it. It's worse than the Medusa heads. I mean, like, this game, like, so far is like, yeah, like your character's like responsiveness. Like, this game makes Castlevania feel like Contra. I get that the non-responsiveness is like a feature of the genre. Oh. But I really don't like it. What do you want from me? No! That's the first time I've ever succeeded in stopping that skull. That was somewhere in the neighborhood of the right thing. Oh yeah. I think the Flea Men are much rougher for me than the Medusa heads. Medusa heads aren't really like the Medusa heads are difficult, but like you reach a state of like zen with the Medusa heads where you can deal with their pattern. I feel like, but the Flea Men. I'll never really fall in sync with them. I played a lot of Castlevania 1, though. It's like one of the games that like probably has my highest number of hours. But it doesn't have my... it's not the very top for highest numbers of hours like spent, but it's got to be up there. I was doing a bunch of different sort of challenge playthroughs Castlevania 1 like 2 years ago. We did Deathless. I did Deathless with no items, and I did Damageless. I say no items. I did have the powered up whip with the no sub weapons run. So not no items, but no sub weapons. But I did also ignore invincibility, rosaries, and meat. I'd like to do a low percent deathless, but I don't know how to approach the bosses. I'd have to retrain the whole game at this point, though. I'm undoubtedly super rusty with it. I'm not much of a speedrunner. I don't really have any good times playing through any games, but I do like to try and do deathless playthroughs of the ones that I really like. That are, you know, particularly challenging. So that guy is just gonna spawn. The guy's just gonna spawn every other minute from now on. We're in a place where he's just permanent. I don't understand. I don't understand how this game can sleep at night. Uh-oh. I think I might be dead. Okay, that snake didn't spawn as far to the right or left as I thought it was going to. $13 months? That's almost a year. Definitely very much appreciated. I can never beat the final boss. The second phase made me quit when I discovered it. Oh no. The final boss, so the big blue guy at the end of Castlevania, he's the cookie monster, as people sometimes like to call him. He's he can be quite intimidating, but he's actually really manageable when you learn a little bit about him, which is something I didn't know until I went for the no sub weapons playthrough, and then I you know, out of necessity, spent a lot of time messing about with that guy. And fortunately discovered that, like, he's actually very responsive to what you're doing, so you can manipulate his movements pretty easily once you learn, like, where to stand and whatnot. But there's a learning curve that has to be lived through for sure. Getting an extra phase in a boss is getting an extra phase in a tough boss is so devastating though. For Castlevania 3, I struggled. Spoiler alerts for Castlevania 3. I struggle with the end boss I struggled against the end boss in Castlevania 3 for, I don't know, hours. And I finally got through that phase 2, and when I saw there was a phase 3, I had to go through the 5 stages of grief before I was able to come to terms with that discovery. It was a rough night. Oh, I'm doing real bad with the timing of this. Get it together, Frownie. Let's go. Try to play retro games I never beat without looking up guides. I decide to tackle again. I'll probably see what Google has to say. Hey, awesome. I like the no guides approach. Are you trying to get a job as a fireman with that mustache? Oh. This is the most, like, mustache to beard ratio I've ever had. Usually when I trim my beard back, I trim my mustache back as well, but I was experimenting with the beard trimmer, and I wasn't quite willing to commit. I wasn't really quite willing to commit with the mustache. My favorite Castlevania games are Symphony of the Night and Aria of Sorrow, and Nick says. Yeah, and see, my favorites are Castlevania 64, Castlevania 1, and Castlevania Bloodlines. I'm not a big fan of the action RPG Metroidvanias so much. Though I will say, I think very highly of Order of Ecclesia. I really like that game a lot. Quit Dragon Quest 3? Because I didn't do it without a guide. It was disheartening. Oh, yeah, those, Oh, Dragon Quest. I was thinking of those, like, point-and-click games. Like, I was thinking King's Quest. Yeah, I haven't played any of those. The Dragon Quest games. Dragon Warrior, Dragon's Quest, Dragon Quest. I try very hard to not look anything up or ask for help, but I mean, we all have our limits, right? I definitely need a hand every now and then. Oh, no. Something I don't like about some older RPGs, it should be something you can play without a guide. Yeah, a game that's like, I mean, I really think everything should be finishable without a guide, but especially like a game that has text in it already, like characters telling you like what to do and stuff. And they can't make it clear. Trying to get started with Myst. I've heard that one is I've heard that is quite brutal to try and work out. Okay, I see what I see. I'm standing up too quickly. Oh, that's not good. It's not good. No! That part is so hard to work out. Alright, let me catch up with some of the chat that I missed. I'm looking up a guide for a game I got stuck on right at the beginning. Spent 4 hours trying to get anywhere at all. Oh. Yeah. I haven't really quite pranked Jelly, but I've joked around with her sometimes about growing my mustache out real big and then just like shaving my head and beard away, so I have just the like great big mustache like an old timey like Russian strongman, like from a circus or something. Trouble is my mustache has like a very short sort of terminal length. I can't like I couldn't really grow like a great big like a huge bushy like Yosemite Sam mustache. I can't really do for whatever reason. It just stops at a certain point. Nick says it could be the fact that I'm dyslexic. I sometimes don't get the guide. Maybe that's why I don't like them. I didn't know that. But yeah, being burned by what's supposed to help you wouldn't create very positive feelings, right? I can grow a huge beard, but my mustache is like that. It gets to a certain length and stops. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like my beard I could grow out, it seems like forever. I've had my beard in all kinds of crazy lengths, but my mustache just gives up after a while. It grows to a particular length where like I have to trim it to like so that it stays out of my mouth while I'm eating. but it won't grow long enough to like style into anything interesting. But yeah, sometimes I joke around about taking a razor to the head and to the beard and just leaving the mustache. It's a very difficult. I think it'd be a very difficult look for me to wear, but kind of amusing. I also joke around. I also joke around with Jelly all the time about growing like a huge '80s country music star mullet, but and she gets so annoyed. She gets so annoyed when I threaten to style my hair into a mullet, even though it's a completely empty threat because I'm way too thin up top. I would have had to do that like 15 years ago. My mullet days have passed me by. Uh, oh no, wrong kind of jump, but I didn't pay for it. So my hair's a blend of colors. When I was really young, my mustache grew in blonde, almost white. Oh my goodness. My beard was brown. I looked like I had a big beard with no mustache at all. Oh, the Amish look. I've been tempted at times to try out just like, I've been tempted at times to try out just like the great big mutton chops look. And just shave away like the mustache and goatee area. Just mostly for practical purposes. I don't know if I'm the most uncoordinated eater, like on the planet or what it is, but I just have I have all kinds of issues with stray hairs from my mustache and beard getting in my way whenever I eat pretty much anything. It's like if I could just cut all that away, just have a clear run up to my mouth. That would look cool. Jelly might be mad. Mutton chops are cool, but I feel like I'm too lazy to maintain it. Yeah, there's that too. I'm not very desirous of any sort of style that requires or pretty much any degree of maintenance. I gotta keep the beard. I gotta keep the beard cut back now, though, because I've got a 9-month-old son, and he's very grabby. It's not a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun having him reach up and yank on my beard all the time. All right. We're doing pretty well. This is still life number 1. Didn't have any facial hair with my first 2. My third one ripped my face off a few times. This is our first kid, and I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised with the level of pain that he could inflict. First couple of times he grabbed at my face. I'm gonna get really close to the checkpoint. Well, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna get really close to the checkpoint, but not quite hit it. But I didn't actually make it as far as I thought I was going to. Wait until pain becomes funny. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's not quite at the, like, throwing things and hitting us on the head stage yet. I did just swap out his blocks today. We got him this set of wooden blocks, and I thought, you know what? These kind of hollow rubber blocks, I think, are a better decision. when these start sailing through the air, they'll be a little bit less destructive. I know, I have a theoretical understanding of how that part's supposed to work. At least the first part of it now, but I don't have the muscle memory to execute it just right yet. No! I'm always hitting the wrong buttons. Oh no! What's worse is getting too close to fire with your beard at work and then having to smell, having that smell to deal with all day. Yeah, I don't think I've ever singed my beard. Come on, what am I supposed to do? There's just no getting around. There's no getting around this part. It's brutal. Is L life? I don't even know because I didn't pay attention to how many lives I had. Cool. $2D Dark Souls confirmed. You know, I don't think that that's a horrible comparison, actually. In that Dark Souls there's a lot of pattern. There's a lot of learning patterns in Dark Souls, and that's all this game is. Then of course, you know, the brutality and the horror fantasy aesthetic. And the delay to the controls. If only I had a shield. Can't really be a Dark Souls game for me if I don't have a shield. Alright, well, we hit a new PB. That was further into that room than I've been before, so that is technically progress. Sekiro, then. Oh no, are there no shields in Sekiro? I'm gonna have a bad time when I play that one. I don't play a ton of modern games, like... Basically after the, like, PlayStation 2 sort of GameCube era. Well, I mean, during that sort of generation, my play count gets really thin, and then it's almost non-existent after that, except for Nintendo titles. I usually keep up with like the Marios and Zeldas and such. And I'm very slowly planning to work through all the Souls games, and they're like related titles, but so far I've only done Dark Souls 1 and 2. I kind of play one every other year, because they take me a long time. But I've done Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, and I'm gonna do Demon Souls the next time we do one, because I actually skipped over that one at the start. So we're gonna go back for that, and then I'll probably just move through in chronological order from there. I haven't done the DLC for either of the games that I've played, though. I've only done the base games, so I do also have to go back and do another playthrough with DLC at some point for each of those. Would you like one or two more? I would have to say that I liked one more. But I didn't dislike Dark Souls 2. For me, Dark Souls 2 just felt a lot like more Dark Souls 1. So, like, the thing is, like, it wasn't different enough for me. Like, I can't really understand why it gets all the hatred that it gets. I thought I had probably close to an equal amount of fun with both games. Dark Souls 1, like, I had more fun. So because I went into Dark Souls 2 with the experience of having played the first one, like, there was less sort of like... There was less, like, discovery and less of the same, like, blunders. that made Dark Souls 1 really, like, memorable for me. I mean, I definitely blundered, but in 2, but you know, it's hard to recapture the exact same like level of magic. I think the hate on 2 is mainly a meme. And there's probably something to that too, because a lot of people, like unlike my personal interaction with people, like a lot of people have defended Dark Souls 2 to me in conversation. I've heard a lot of anecdotal support for it. No Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom felt like a repeat. Yeah, a lot of people seem to feel like that too. I like Tears of the Kingdom more, but I can understand people who don't. I don't like everything about Tears of the Kingdom more. But overall, I like it more. I like the Sheikah Slate powers that you get in Tears of the Kingdom a lot. But I like playing around with those, and like I had a lot of fun with that because I had a lot more fun with Tears of the Kingdom because I had a self-imposed challenge to try to avoid the intended path and mechanics through the shrines as much as possible. And I had a lot of fun like messing around with the rewind feature to levitate myself into areas that you're not supposed to be able to reach and to get past doors without using keys and such. So, which I didn't approach Breath of the Wild in that way, and so that playthrough, the Tears playthrough, is way more fun for me because I took a completely different approach to the game, and so I walk away with better feelings about it overall. Now, my solutions were frequently agony, because the biggest thing was I tried to avoid ever using the paraglider in shrines, and there are some that I had to conclude are just impossible, but there were a lot that were possible without the paraglider if you were willing to spend a couple hours, and I very much was up for that. You have to break the Switch Zelda games, yeah. And see, I didn't approach the first one like that. 2 is solid. I think people say they dislike it because Miyazaki didn't work on it. Yeah, there was a lot of that. I've heard a lot of this game was made by the B team. And I mean, there are places like a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are just big dude in armor. Not a super interesting design when you see it over and over and over again. So like there is kind of that I didn't really love about it. I would have liked to fight more monsters. So That might be my biggest complaint about Dark Souls 2. Is just more interesting monsters would have been nice. I have to be a little careful though, also though, because like everything else, I play those games blind, and so I know I miss a lot of stuff. My judgments always need at least a little bit of an asterisk because of that. Because I'm very aware that there are things that I'm missing in those games. Too many bosses, not enough variety. Got really good at the flying glitch. Might be why I love Breath of the Wild so much. Yeah, and I've never even really experimented with any of the like glitch stuff in Breath of the Wild. So there's like a whole meta aspect to the game that I'm lost on. Oh, I got so lucky with that duck there. Run. Just timing that, right? That is a life, but I think it's only a life the first time you pick it up. Oh, why did I time that so poorly? That didn't even hit you. Yeah, the hitboxes on those swinging arms is, I think that's what you're talking about. It hangs around behind the animation for a really long time. It's not cool. Oh, another raid come in. Very nice. It's Chozo. Thank you for the raid, Chozo. If you've been around, I know you've seen Chozo in the chat, my friends. If you didn't know, he also streams. Chozo's been working on retro achievements, doing Mario All-Stars here recently. He just did, I got to watch a significant portion of him working on Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. So use that link there to give our friend a follow and show some support. I think I'm in trouble. Alright, I'm still alive for now. How's this gonna work? Oh, it stops when you stand. Interesting. And it bumps me back. I don't have to go for a big jump on that. Oh, new checkpoint! Let's go! Oh, no. No, it's one of those. Yeah, he chose. I saw you were live when I went live earlier. I saw that you were streaming, but then when you popped in here, I assumed that meant that you were done. So, thank you for the raid. That was very unexpected, but always welcome. One, two, three. No, come on. Oh. Ooh, I thought I was in trouble there. This is a PB. This is a PB for me. You're just coming in. So yeah, to the point of this game not treating me well. I mean, this game never really treats me well, but yeah, I'm actually further along than I've ever been. So that at least is good. Now, unfortunately, there's really no way to get past this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, that there is rough. That there is super rough. My computer froze up. I'm glad to see it seems to be working again. Mario Brothers 2. Played that. My sister and me played that a ton as a kids. Never beat it, but still, Mario Brothers 2 is pretty tough. Of the first three, I think it's the toughest. Messed up my days. Thought you weren't streaming until tomorrow. No, we're here tonight. I'm gonna try and be here for the next 3 nights too. I know I haven't been very good with the consistency and such, but hoping to get that turned back around. I've just had so much going on. The summertime, right? Between taking care of the baby and then stuff with family and IRL friends. My time and energy is stretched real thin lately. I gave up on the Luigi run. Gotta beat it in one session with no warps, and Luigi flutters like crazy. I never liked playing as Luigi when I was a kid because I couldn't deal with his slippery physics. Now he'd probably be my go-to. Whenever I play Mario Brothers 2, though, now, I tend to just rotate the characters evenly. And just every time the character select comes up, just move the cursor one to the right, and just keep going around in a loop. So I spend an equal time with each character. The thing about that is, though, I tend to play the same characters on the same stages every time. So maybe what I need to do next time I play it is randomize the starting point. Hey Pokemons, welcome in. How's this game on your sanity so far? Well, I'm making progress. I found new parts of the game. You shave. Well, I didn't quite shave. Maybe it's hard to see in the light. I trimmed my beard back. I buzzed it down, but I took it down further than I really meant to. So yeah, I've got more of a scruff than a beard now. I wanted to see... My electric trimmer has all these different, like, shields. And so, I wanted to see... I just decided to take a chance with one of the shields and see, because it would make it a lot easier to trim up. But it makes it a little shorter than I usually like. Yeah, well, see, that's it. I didn't want to change that drastically, but I needed to cut it back because I'm getting my face pulled on a lot. I need my beard to be a much less grabbable length. So that's how we've gotten here. Next time, I won't trim it back quite in the same way, because this is shorter than I prefer, but... That's what happens when you conduct an experiment sometimes. Ah! I think the last time that I actually shaved my face, like razor to skin, shaved my face, was... Oh, actually it was, it wasn't that long ago, because I was thinking it was like 2010 or 2011. But that's not true. It would have been, I think, in 2019. I think I shaved. Yeah, I shaved in 2019. I had a job very briefly where they required all the men to shave. Finally home so I can watch properly? Not that it matters very much on this particular game. Well, glad to have you here properly, Zergling. Did you get a job as a sheriff recently? No, just went a little overzealous. With cutting the beard out of baby man's reach. We'll be back to normal soon enough. My hair looks a little bit off lately too. I let my 12-year-old cut my hair again. Hey Derek, welcome in. I've never cut anyone else's hair. I don't think. I've cut my own hair. Oh no, I went through the wrong door. Uh-oh. Glad you're on tonight. Today was not the best day. Off work, had dinner, now I can relax. Hopefully you can at least put it all behind you now. Yeah. Glad to be here for you, and definitely appreciate having you join us. I'm making a little bit of progress tonight. I made it further. I made it further than I've ever been a couple times. Only by a few steps. So it's only tiny progress, but I really blundered. I really blundered having to repeat both of these rooms. My youngest daughter isn't going to be building any rocket ships. I may as well have her practice to be a barber or hairstylist. My mom was a barber. My parents both had, like, kind of a lot of different jobs. Not really a lot, but... I don't know, like, they had, like, 3 or 4 different jobs each. But the first thing I remember my mom being was a barber. That's the job she had when I was little. Hey, we got another new follow. Thank you for that, my new friend. Grateful to have you with us. Oh, cool. Hit the wrong button. I thought I was dead. Looking forward to more Disney's Hercules. Let's see, work more stuff out. That game was rough for me on night 1. I might be stepping the difficulty back on night 2. I haven't really decided yet, because that game saves our progress, so maybe I won't. The lowering the difficulty rule is meant for games that you restart. But I don't know. I can't decide whether it'd be worthwhile to try and learn more about the game on a normal and then crank it back up to hard later. But I'll let future Frownie worry about that. Both of those Hercules games really were unpleasant surprises at how rough they are. I'm hoping it'll turn around. I'm hoping that one or both of them will click for me and I can have a better time, but... Oh, night one is rough with both of those games. It could raise my lives. Yeah, I know that option's there too. My future career needs to be professional Frownie streak maintainer. You know, sometimes I hear, like, there's a lot of wisdom in, like, doing the job that no one else is doing. But I gotta say, I don't really know that there's a lot of money in that field. glad I caught this. Missed most of the other streams. Watch most of the VODs. Thank you for checking those out, Chozo. It's kind of a lot of the same with this game, unfortunately. It's kind of like watching me play Battletoads, I feel like. This is kind of like the Battletoads experience, where I make like 2 millimeters of progress, and then it's dead and back to the start, running the whole game back. If Frownie pays us in giant games. Oh no. Oh, I thought I mistimed that jump. Right on. Everything better than expected. For now. I just know in my heart of hearts, I know that I need that F weapon, and I cannot for the world figure out how to get it. This part here is kind of miserable, because you really only have one shot at doing this right. I don't know how to do this. That skull comes all the way down there to hit me. It's so rude. Oh! You ever played Dark Castle on Genesis for Doomed? This is Mario 3 compared to Dark Castle. I confuse this game with Dark Castle a lot. In the lead up to playing this, I kept thinking I'm playing Dark Castle soon. I'm playing Dark Castle soon. Just nothing. There's nothing that can be done about this part. It's actually impossible. I think I know what it is. I think I know what the trick is. If I had that F item, I could probably blow this skull up, and then I wouldn't have to dance around it like I am now. I just had to see if that would reach. I didn't think it would, but... Oh, rude. I've exceeded 2 people through Dark Castle because I have something wrong with me. You know, it's probably my kind of game. Hey, Stream Kyle, welcome in. Thank you for the 3 stream watch stream. Hope you're well tonight. Baby Man tore a page. He tore a page out of, like, his favorite storybook. Not that it's easy to judge what his preferences for things are. He still hasn't really developed a lot of, like, preferences. Like, he kind of just seems to like all the things that he likes pretty much equally. Except avocado. He doesn't like that very much. I guess that wouldn't be classified as one of the things that he likes. But, like, whenever we read him a storybook, he generally seems to like all the story, but, like, he generally seems to be okay with whatever we're reading him. But I don't know. I think we do get a bigger reaction from Fox and Socks than with some of the others. I think you could probably call that his favorite storybook, but he tore a page out of it. So I needed to get him a replacement. And, you know, like old books like that, I just pick them up at the thrift store, right? But, so it's like, they're not hard to come across or anything, but because I wait for them to show up, you know, when you're waiting for something to show up at a second-hand store in particular, like, sometimes you have to wait a while. But when I went last time, I actually found they had a Ziploc bag that was filled with. It had 20 Dr. Seuss books in it, but they're like these little miniature ones. They're like this big. They're like 5 inches tall, but inside they are the full books. Like, they're not, like, I thought, like, because they were small, I thought they would be like abridged or something. But one of the books is Fox and Socks, and I read through it, and it's the whole story. So that was a nice find. Because it costs just the same as one. It costs what they would have charged for one single book by itself, but it was 20 of them. But they're a very cool little set. They're they're hardback and everything. I don't know if there was a greater point to that or not. Yeah, I lost my way through that story as I was telling it. There's something wrong with everyone who watches Frownie do this to himself. Oh. It was a good story, though. I liked it. Thank you, Nick. I have very mixed feelings about Dr. Seuss. I have very mixed feelings about Dr. Seuss. Like, I like reading some of his books, but some of them are just completely chaotic nonsense. Like a lot of his books, like these don't seem to have any point. They're just random stuff from one page to the next. Particularly One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. That book is the most bogus nonsense I've ever come across. That's the point. I like his stories that have a I like his stories that have a through line. Like, admittedly, like Fox and Socks is largely bogus nonsense, but it has the framing device of the fox presenting tongue twisters to Mr. Knox that ties it all together. And so I find it a lot more acceptable. One Fish, Two Fish has no framing device. And so there's just nothing to hold on to. I don't like, I also don't like when Dr. Seuss makes up words for like half the page. Because I'm really not impressed with his ability to rhyme when half the words are invented just to be rhymes. Dr. Seuss is random. It's like, well, again, like Green Eggs and Ham has a through line. It has a plot, at least. It's actually the same plot as Fox and Socks. Green Eggs and Ham and Fox and Socks are basically the same book. You know what? I think the Lorax is not in that set of books. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know how many Dr. Seuss has written altogether. I actually don't remember seeing that one. I might have to buy a copy of that one separately. I don't think we own it. Actually, glad that first axe missed. That's all my own fault. Walking too early. Unacceptable. What am I doing? When you're as old as me, your mom just read you cave drawings. I think the only Dr. Seuss book I owned as a kid was the Foot Book. I don't have a lot of storybooks saved from my childhood, but I have managed to find and buy for Baby Man's library several that were like that I remember from my childhood, some like standout titles. But they were not, so they haven't all been worthwhile purchases. The one in particular, it's called I Can't, Said the Ant. And I don't know if anyone else grew up reading that one, but I don't know that it is worth being preserved for all time. Was the sequel I Cannot, Said the Moth? It's the plot of I Can't, Said the Ant is a teapot falls off of a countertop, and then everything in the kitchen encourages an ant to get the teapot back up onto the countertop. And it's just like, I can't, said the ant. You can, said the pan. You must, said the crust. You will, said the pill. It's all just like that. Every line is like just a piece of rhyming like dialogue. And like eventually like a spider shows up and they make like a pulley system, and a bunch of other ants come and help, and they lift the kettle or the pot back up onto the counter, and they repair it with spider web as well, which I don't really think would hold together indefinitely. I mean, I know that spider silk is supposed to be like really strong relative to its size, but I mean, I just don't know about its like efficacy when it comes to mending ceramic ware and how it's going to hold up, like, during contact with boiling water. It's all done in these, like, red line drawings, too, that are really simple. Which I guess it's well drawn, but I don't know, like, it looks like it was made in the 1800s. Same with the book I remember most from my childhood. I was so mad. It was my favorite. Until my family realized I was not reading it, I just memorized the whole book. Oh yeah, I definitely did that. I remember doing that with The Foot Book by Dr. Seuss. I had that one memorized. So I could sit and flip through it and recite it and give the illusion that I was reading. There were probably other books that I did that with, but I don't remember other ones off the top of my head. I remember having those. I had a book called There's a Monster Eating My House, which is a really good one. That's actually the one storybook I still have from my childhood. It's in really poor condition. But I like that one a lot. I had a Cinderella storybook that was like based on the Disney movie, and I had a version of the Frog Prince that I haven't read it yet, but I've actually found another copy of that one. I had a book called, I think it was called The Day the Wind Changed. And that book always, like, grossed me out. The artwork in that book. I found the artwork in that book so unsettling when I was a kid that I didn't like to... I didn't like to read the book. I didn't even like to touch the book. Like, I didn't want to handle it. Like, to move it on the shelf, because I didn't want to accidentally touch any of the gross artwork. I felt like it would, like, contaminate me. Hey, gals, welcome in. I had another storybook that I didn't like when I was a kid too. It was the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And that one didn't gross me out, but it scared me. I found the artwork in it was something about it really scared me. I thought that book was like haunted or something. So, of course, I've since purchased a replacement copy of that one as well. I was like that with the Stinky Cheese Man book. Which way, Cows? Did you think it was too gross, or do you think it was too scary? Because I gave two examples. I had a book where the artwork was really gross, and I was afraid to touch it because the artwork was disturbing to me, like visually. But then I had another one that felt sinister. The Day the Wind Changed was just gross. I found the artwork to be very gross. It's supposed to be like, and it's supposed to be. It's about a boy that makes like ugly, like goofy, ugly faces, and people tell him, "Oh, don't do that, or it's gonna get stuck that way," and then it does. That's the plot of the book. So like the artwork's really gross, but it's supposed to be. But like the Pied Piper is has a sinister vibe to it, which, you know, appropriate considering the story. But the art was really gross. I didn't like to look at the book. I enjoyed listening to it being read, though. The Stinky Cheese Man. I don't know that story, but I think Jelly does. Oh, the Jack-in-the-Box I couldn't play with because they close to the end. My sister would hold down the lid. As in, like, she was afraid for it to pop out. Oh yeah, she hated it. Speaking of authors, books and authors, I'm gonna tell you about a dream I had last night. Right? No one ever likes to hear about someone's dream, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I had a dream. I had a dream last night. That I was in some sort of language learning class. I think it was Greek, but it's irrelevant. Just like the point was that the lesson that was being discussed was like subject-predicate agreement in sentences. And the teacher had made a point that, like, you know, native English speakers can get confused about subject-predicate agreement in their own language, even. Like, especially if a sentence has, like, a complex structure or something that separates the two. And then asked for me to read an example sentence out loud. And I had the example sentence, and it was written on 3 note cards that I was holding on my desk. And I was trying to read this sentence. It was super long, right? Because it's across 3 note cards. And I don't know about everyone else, but, like, reading in a dream is a horrific experience. I just, anytime I have to try and read something in a dream, I just can't do it. The letters change and move around and stuff, and it's just a real struggle. And so, like, I struggled to read this sentence, and I just couldn't do it. And then, eventually I had to give up, like, halfway through, and I was just like, this is the worst sentence ever. Complete trash. F-. Who could have possibly written this? Who could have written a sentence that's this terrible? And I looked at the back of the note cards for who the author was, and I saw the author's name printed, and it was Super Colonel Sanders. And that name, Super Colonel Sanders, was, in my sleep-addled brain, the most hilarious thing that I have ever come across. Where I couldn't stop laughing even after I woke up, and I immediately pulled my phone over and emailed myself an email that was just those 3 words so I wouldn't forget it. And then I went back to sleep, and I had a dream that I was telling a group of people about the Super Colonel Sanders dream in my second dream. And now I'm telling all of you. I'm very prone to that. I'm very prone to, like, having, like, ideas when I'm sort of asleep or half asleep. I'm very prone to having ideas that I think are, like, very brilliant or hilarious. And I think they're just the best thing ever when I'm half asleep, and then I wake up. And then I wake up and only then realize that it's complete nonsensical trash. I think myself to be quite the genius when I'm half awake. Mario ROM hack confirmed. Inception. Yeah, that actually happens. That actually happens to me more often than you would, then I think it's probably typical, where I will have multiple dreams in the same night, but one of my later dreams, a large portion of the content of one of my later dreams is me retelling a dream that I had earlier that night to somebody. Yeah, we're another part of Frownie's dream universe. That's one of the classic ways to tell if you're awake or in a dream, is to try and read something, Cal says. Yeah, I thought about that. Because... But the thing is, like, that kind of stuff, it just doesn't clue me in. I'm not one of those, like, I don't become lucid in my dreams very often. I have and do sometimes, but it's pretty rare for me. And, like, those things that, like, I should be able to recognize as triggers, I just don't. Whenever I have to read something, I just struggle with it until I wake up, basically. It never occurs to me, like, oh, the reason that this page is completely incomprehensible is because I'm asleep. I've been dreaming about traps in Saw films because I binge-watched all 10 movies in 2 days, Joseph says. Oh my. That's a rough way to sleep. Most of the times I'm not in my dreams. It's kind of like watching TV. Oh, you people. TV was like Twitch with actors. Oh. Yeah, I have dreams like that sometimes where I'm sort of a disembodied spectator. I don't have them that frequently, but I do have, but they're part of the rotation. Usually those dreams tend to be quite scary. They tend to have more of a horror vibe to them, where I have dreams like that, where I'm just watching something. No! Come on. I didn't even trigger the checkpoint. The way that the checkpoints work in this is kind of irritating because the position that you have to reach to trigger the checkpoint is pretty far beyond the point that you get respawned at when you do. I'm surprised I've never had a dream centered around the show Taskmaster, because that's just about the only thing that Jelly and I watch. Is that show? So I'm surprised I've never had a dream like one of your Jigsaw dreams. And it would be similar, because that show is kind of similar to Saw. In a less, like, torture horror and more like arts and crafts kind of way. No, that was a new PB. I've never died over there before. Yep, new spot to die. Hype. I should have been able to not mess that up. That's very disappointing. No. I should try the PAL version of this game for the memes. The PAL version, I'm guessing, runs much slower. I've been told there's a version that runs worse. Oh, no. You told me there's a boss. There's a, maybe you're not the one that mentioned it. Someone told me there's a different boss. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably check it out. If I ever beat this, yeah, we can check out the PAL version. Why wouldn't we? I might need to be reminded to do that. No spoilers. Yeah, okay, yeah. 10 more feet of progress. Let's go. It's gonna be a long time between hot sauce wheel spins. Yeah, I think. Well, no. Tomorrow night, there's a really good chance of spins. We're playing Winnie the Pooh tomorrow. There's a really good chance that I beat one or more Winnie the Pooh games in a single night. I kind of think that's gonna be it for tonight, though, my friends. It's getting kind of late. I really should be in bed by 1. I got a couple things to do before I can lay down, so I think that's gonna have to be our stream for tonight. We made progress, though. I saw new stuff. I made a couple millimeters of progress. Yeah, I'll definitely make 5 more feet of progress in the next 3.5 hour session. So we'll probably play this again next week. I feel good about tonight. I think all things considered, it went about as well as I could hope. So I do plan to be back tomorrow. It'll be roughly the same time slot. I might be able to go a little bit later tomorrow than tonight. But we'll probably be starting around 9 p.m. again. We're going to play Winnie the Pooh. I've got 3 Winnie the Pooh games on PlayStation 1. I don't know how extensive they are. They're edutainment games, and those are usually pretty short. So we may be able to get through multiple games in one night, depending. See you later. See you, Nick. PS1 is a chunk of edutainment games. So, early stream tomorrow, Winnie the Pooh. Late stream on Thursday, Herc's Adventure again. And then early stream on Friday, Disney's Hercules. That's the plan for the rest of the week. I'll try and do Dragon's Lair. Might be on Tuesday again next week. Might be a good time to do it. But you'll have to check the Discord to really be sure. And I'm going to send this over to Kyle. I haven't caught one of Kyle's streams in a while. Looks like he's spinning a wheel filled with janky stuff, so... Adam Sandler attacked Colonel Sanders? Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I need to find a Super Colonel Sanders edutainment game. Super Colonel Sanders teaches grammar. Alright, my friends, thank you one last time for being here. Really appreciate your company, as always, and I hope that you're well until I get to see you again. We're all done for tonight, though. It's time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.